Hello, everybody. This is Ronnie Milsap, and welcome to another podcast, Music and Milsap. Episode number 34. 34.
Yes, sir.
Boy, it's going to be a good one.
I don't see why not. You got some hot plasma sitting in front of you.
We sure do. Very talented man.
He's got something in common with you. I think he likes to tickle the ivories.
He does, and he does it so well.
Must be something in the Fiji water. Ronnie, your friend's sitting right across from you here today.
Yeah?
He has multiple Dove and Grammy nominations, including the Best Roots Gospel Album nominations in 2017 and 2019. 21 Academy of Country Music Award nominations, 2 Grammy nominations, a Gospel Music Association Dove Award, 3-time Academy of Country Music Keyboard Piano Player of the Year, and 15 albums,
wow,
including his brand new release from New Haven Records titled Where You Lead Me. This guy has played for so many artists out there. Give us a name, Ronnie, for today's guest.
So our guest for the day, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Mr. Gordon Mote.
Yeah!
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Ronnie. Marty, how are we today?
Oh, we're good. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day.
It really is.
I love it. I love it.
Sun shining outside. It's almost give me a damn sunburn.
Uh-oh.
And if it's not shining where you are, hopefully the conversation will make it bright wherever you are.
You bet.
That's a great song.
This is.
That was so much fun to do.
What year was this recorded, Ronnie?
1985.
85. Was
Yeah.
that recorded over at your studio?
Grand Star. Yeah.
Laboratories.
Boy.
Shane Keister
Really?
with that Rhodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane was the guy in town. Didn't he have either a Fairlight or a Synclavier?
He had the Synclav.
Yeah, he had
sure
the
did.
Synclav. Yeah.
Boy.
For the good folks listening, that was a sampling keyboard instrument that was disgustingly expensive.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man.
There weren't many Fairlights in Nashville at that time, and not that I was around, but just talking to cats. There weren't, L.A., you could rent them out there, and there were a couple guys that had them out there, but Nashville didn't catch on to that. But the Synclav, a couple cats had that. But
Yeah, they did.
man, what a great record, though. And that's actually, if you remember, Ronnie, at your tribute concert at Bridgestone back in the fall,
Yeah.
that's the song I sang.
Ah!
That's your tribute.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, man.
That was so much fun to do and such an honor for me, as well as, I'm sure, all the artists who were involved that night singing and playing your songs. Before I sang, I remember we had a little issue with the keyboard, and so they said, talk. Just talk, do something.
Tap dance.
And I said, well, that's not hard for me. And I told the crowd of about 15,000 people that night that the first Ronnie Milsap song I ever had, the first album I ever had, vinyl, was an album called Plain and Simple.
Oh,
And I had that, and I just remember hearing the first song I heard my dad played, Plain and Simple, She Don't Love Me.
Yeah.
And I got it all over me, and I hadn't been able to get over it. And that was the first time I'd ever heard you and your music. And like I say, I've been a fan ever since, and the whole world loves you and loves all your records.
well, they love you too, Gordon. They sure do love you and all the things you're doing.
Well, thank you.
And
buddy.
you can do anything, man. You can play and sing gospel,
thank
country,
you. Well-
pop music. You can do it all.
Juggle.
Well,
tap dance.
I'm not sure about the juggling, although I do juggle a lot of, I wear a lot of hats, that's for sure. But Ronnie, I just have to tell you before we get too far in, I think we've all, and both of you and I are blind. People know you are, of course, but if they're listening and they've never heard of me, I was born blind and started playing the piano when I was 3 years old.
Boy,
And one of the first people that I really paid attention to was your music. I heard so much music growing up, but when I was a very small child, my parents wanted me to hear your music, and that's when I heard that Plain and Simple. And I heard a lot of songs and heard a lot of music, but that one kind of stood out because when I heard that, I felt something. I didn't know you were blind. That had nothing to do with it. I just felt something when I heard that. You have so much soul and so much feeling in everything that you do. And your music has influenced me so much. Again, not because we both are without our sight.
Yeah.
But because we both feel music in very much the same way.
Yes, indeed.
When I make a record, the labels have had so much trouble with me because they're like, one song's kind of country, one song's kind of soulful, one's a power ballad, and I always say, well, that's the way Milsap made records. Why can't I make records like that?
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
But I just want to thank you before we get started for all the music you have given us and you continue to give us. And man, you've been a light and you've kind of been my North Star. And so I appreciate you.
God bless you.
More than you
Gordon.
know.
God bless you, buddy.
And it's an honor to be here with you and Marty.
Hey, it's a great day to be alive.
It really is.
In the podcast living room.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're getting close. That studio's coming along. Ronnie, I think there's probably about a week or two left, and we'll be back in our environment.
Well, I hope so. I got to move some pianos in.
Yeah, more pianos, please.
Because Gordon and I might want to play them both.
There's no question about it. That would be a lot of fun. I told Marty I'm going to have to talk to you about renting your studio because I know the pianos are going to be great, and you've got that Neve console with all those Neve mic pre's. I'm a junkie for Neve anything.
I am too.
And I know that's a facility I would want to utilize. So maybe you'll let me come in and play around sometime.
Hey, you're always welcome.
I
man.
appreciate that, brother.
See, they're already starting to bang the door down at Magnolia Hill.
Yeah, I got to get some more magnolia trees
That's a
in
fact.
here.
Yeah.
We're going to.
That's a fact. Well, you know, the cicadas they'll be here before we know it, and,
I'm afraid so.
and they'll be in those trees, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Coming soon to a tree near you.
Gordon, where are you originally from?
Well, I grew up in Alabama. I'm from a little town called Attalla. It's Gadsden, basically, about 65 miles northeast of Birmingham, not too very far from where those Alabama boys are from. Randy Owen and Teddy Gentry and Jeff Cook. They grew up in Fort Payne.
Yeah.
And so I grew up I'd say about a half hour, 40 minutes from Fort Payne. And so for anybody who's trying to figure out, well, where's Attalla at? That's where it is. That's where I grew up. And honestly, another little bit of trivia, useless trivia, the very first album that I heard with a pair of headphones, because I didn't even know about headphones until I was like 6.5, 7 years old. And the very first album I heard was your live album.
Ooh.
Where Ralph Emery introduces
Boy,
you.
that was a good one.
Yeah. And hearing all that in stereo.
Yeah.
And I had a pair of my dad had a pair of realistic headphones. You remember those big old things, those muff-looking things?
Clamped on so tight they about squished your head in.
That's so true, man.
But stereo headphones,
Oh.
when I discovered that, it just opened a new world for
So
me.
true. And I still have a headphone fetish. I'm kind of a Sennheiser geek, but I love all different kinds of headphones, whether they're hardwired or Bluetooth technology.
Yeah.
Or I kind of stay up on all that, and that's one of the things I really enjoy.
I'm curious now, when you use a computer, I know you use JAWS.
That's right.
I do too.
That's right. I've been fortunate to have a brother who's in tech. And so between he and I, we're both real geeks. And he's blind as well, my younger brother.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is. And he actually works for a software development company that helps a lot of blind folks. He also works for Learfield. So he is the voice at pregame, postgame, and halftime for the Florida Gators.
Oh.
And he's got one end of a tie line in his home studio, and then they have the other end of the tie line. And we're both huge sports fans, football, basketball, baseball. We're both big Alabama fans. So
I bet.
as we are doing this podcast here today,
Friday, March 29th of 2024, Good Friday.
Yeah.
Alabama just got into the Elite Eight by beating North Carolina in basketball.
I heard about that. I hated to see the heels get beat.
Oh, I didn't hate it at all. I loved every second of it. But we love, baseball's just getting started. We're big, huge fans of baseball, football, basketball. But anyway, that's one of the things that he and I always had in common. And I know another thing you really enjoy, that I enjoy, are the old-time radio shows.
Oh, love them.
I have an extensive collection, as you do,
Yeah.
of those old shows. And something that I just kind of got into about a year ago, or a little over, is a site called Radio Archives.
Yeah.
And they have a preservation library that just started. And they have a museum that is kind of helping them with this. But several of us got in on a subscription situation to help the museum get these reels, these transcription discs.
Yes.
And there's about 40,000 shows on transcription discs that we're all getting. And so anyway, I'm kind of way down deep in the old radio shows, as are you.
Yeah, I am. Always have been.
Same. I mean, Radio Spirits, years ago, back in the 90s, probably, maybe, if I'm remembering right, mid-90s,
Yeah.
they kind of brought them back to mainstream.
It sure did.
But before that, I remember listening to the CBS Radio Mystery Theater.
E.G. Marshall.
I'm E.G. Marshall. Yeah. So we listened to a lot of the same stuff. And of course, it's the imagination. It's the theater of the mind.
Exactly.
And are you into the audio described movies that are all coming out now, and TV shows? A lot of the older movies now are getting audio descriptions.
I like that.
I do too. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
You don't want to put your wife to work?
Well, that's the thing. When we were dating, I remember the first movie we watched together was, I believe it was Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Guy.
Yeah. And so so we rented it, back in those days, you went to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And you got your VHS. Mm-hmm. And of course, whoever rented it for you didn't remember to rewind it all the way back to the beginning.
Of course not. No.
But
You got to do that yourself.
That's right.
and we'd get that, and we would go get our little piece of candy, our Colts Bolt or whatever, back in those days. It was kind of fun. I kind of miss walking into the video store and smelling the videos, and the record stores, and smelling the records, or
Exactly.
smelling 2-inch tape. I miss that.
It just smells so good.
Oh, it does. But yeah, so she would be the audio describer back in those days. But now we can, watch a movie together. And of course, I think it kind of drives her crazy, because sometimes we'll be listening to it and it'll say, and she walks into the back door. And she takes off her mask, and it's kind of weird, but it is a wonderful thing that they are bringing that to mainstream.
It's too bad you can't select a male or a female voice.
Yeah, I think we're just lucky to have anything at this point.
That's right. That's right.
Beggars can't be choosers, right, Ronnie?
No, we can't.
That's right.
But Silence of the Lamb was your first date
I
movie?
think that was our first movie to watch as a couple. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I know.
He's eating her face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to. Watch any more movies like that. After I thought, man, that is just very unsettling.
If that was your first movie, I certainly don't think I should ask you what your first meal was, what kind of restaurant you went to.
I will tell you what so we were students at Belmont when we met. I tell people all the time it was love at first sound.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I love it. We met at Belmont University. I was a student there. She was a student there.
Yeah.
And I heard her talking. And she was talking about, because we were both music majors, and she was talking about, I want to be a singer and I want to be in the business, but my main goal is to be a good mom and a good wife.
Oh.
And her voice, I just fell in love from that moment. I just I want to marry this girl. I don't even know her, and I want to marry her.
Yeah.
Well, one thing led to another. We started dating, and we've been married 31 years. And
Wow.
I feel about her like I know you felt about Miss Joycey.
That's right.
She's the heart and soul of everything I do. We have 3 children, and I can't imagine my life without her. I really can't, and I'm so grateful that God brought us together. She is definitely my soulmate.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I actually wrote a song for her a few years ago that people have really enjoyed over the years, a song called If They Could See You Through My Eyes.
Oh.
Which, people would come up to me, Ronnie, and they would say, your wife is so beautiful, because she is. Your wife is so beautiful. I wish you could see her.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to write a song telling people how I did see her and that I could see her much more than they could.
Absolutely.
So,
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Well, all this talk about music, we need to get some music on the show today, Ronnie.
Yeah.
What do you have for us today?
There's a song I want to play here on the podcast.
Well, what can you tell us about it, Ronnie?
I want to play this song, and I don't know if Gordon's ever heard this before, but we ought to play it.
And the name of this song is?
Country Again with Dawn Sears is on this record, too.
I love Dawn. She
Boy.
was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
We miss Dawn.
I know.
Well, let's do this.
Roll it. Very cool record. Unlike anything I'd ever done before. Tommy bought him a hot rod pickup, I guess it was about 10 years ago. And every night in his garage he worked on that Dodge and he never told a soul. One night he decided to unveil that thing for the whole town to see. I admit we thought he was a little crazy when he said it was some kind of time machine. Then a voice from the crowd said, "Prove it!" And that's just what Tommy did. He went and pulled the clutch on that old pickup and it sounded something like this. Move out of the way! Good mix.
Yeah.
Lennon.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's great. Just before he disappeared into thin air, he said, "I'm going to the future, y'all." And just like that, he was right back. Here's what he saw. Said there were cars that flew down Fifth Avenue, and where that co-op sits right now, there's a skyscraper a mile high that make you dizzy when you look down. He went on and on about robots and whatnot, and Lord knows the stories that he told, but nothing amazed him quite as much as what he heard on the radio. It was country again.
Come on.
So the future looks bright. Those folks of tomorrow play their music right. They're still holding on to that down-home tradition.
Come on.
Yeah, just about when we thought we lost our old friend, it was country again. Tommy reached into his shirt pocket and pulled out a song he had smuggled back. Popped it in, and when he did, it sounded a whole lot like the past. The boy sang just like he had lived every single word. And you could feel the joy, and you could feel the pain. And we all knew that we'd heard. Country when it goes to the 3/4 on the chorus.
Oh, yeah.
So the future looks bright. Those folks of tomorrow play their music right. They're still holding on to that down-home tradition. Yeah, just about when we thought we lost our old friend, it was country again. Yeah, just about when we thought we lost our old friend, It was country again. Country.
Yeah, Ronnie.
That's fun. That's a fun record.
Well, it's fun to listen to.
Wish I could have had a record company that would promote it.
Well, you know, in today's musical world,
Yes.
the people get to make the decisions more than radio and the record companies because as people know, music is so much more accessible and more people listen to music today than ever before because they're able to, open up their computer and find it. And so people just need to be made aware that great music is available.
It's out there.
And you don't have to listen to the radio. Now, a lot of radio stations are doing a good thing, but a lot of times you don't hear some of the best music that comes out of Nashville or LA or anywhere else because somebody's making decisions and they're not all based on music.
And it's all piped in, right?
Yeah, it's everything's voice tracked. Hardly any of the radio shows are live anymore.
No.
And what I used to love, Ronnie, I'm a huge fan of radio, and I used to love when I was a kid listening to all the 50,000 watt AM clear channel stations, and the different personalities, and even traveling, listening to all the different markets. Back in those days, everything was different. Every market was different. Now, doesn't matter where you go, they all sound the same because they're all owned by a couple of different companies. And of course, times change, and I'm not like it's not sour grapes or anything.
No.
But I'm just saying, we have to continue to make great music and let the people decide.
They will decide.
They will. And that's a great song, and that's out there for public consumption. So,
Yummy nummy.
yes, sir. That's a great record.
It was fun to make.
I was just sitting here thinking while we were listening to that. I was such a, back to some of your music. You made some great country records like Back on My Mind and My Heart and even like later, like with Houston Solution and Don't You Ever Get Tired of Hurting Me. And then you'd make a record like, Still Losing You, which is one of my favorite songs.
I love that record.
And I love that part that you sang, the just keeps hanging on, even though you're gone.
That's right, baby.
I get goosebumps just hearing it.
I mean, that's just so good. And that little...
Incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie, we need to get our fans happy here. Let's grab some of these questions out of the fishbowl.
Yeah. Okay, Gordon. I'm going to take some questions from my fans. Are you good with that?
Oh, I'd love it.
Okay, let's do it, Marty.
Okay, Ronnie, this first question out of the fishbowl comes from David Chartrand from Rochester, New York. And he writes, Ronnie, did you ever record anything in the studio with Ray Charles? If so, why hasn't it been released yet? Ooh.
I had a chance to do that. I met Ray. Rob Galbraith, my producer, called Ray Charles because I was doing a special over here at T-Pack. I was doing a TV special. I had a producer out of Los Angeles here that came to do it. And he called Ray and said, would you come and do the show with Ronnie Milsap? And Ray said, okay, I'll do that. If I could have this 5 minutes alone with Ronald.
Wow.
I love that. There's a lot of really cool YouTube stuff of you and he. Awards show footage.
Oh, it's great.
Kind of stuff, yeah.
So it never happened, huh, Ronnie?
No. And he said, I'm going to cut this song, 7 Spanish Angels, and I heard about it, and I knew Willie was going to really do it with him. But he wanted me to cut some other songs, 2 Old Cats Like Us, and I said, no, can't do that.
Playing hardball.
Well, I sang enough with Ray.
Oh, yeah. For presidents.
Yeah.
Well, sure did Reagan.
Yeah. That's pretty spectacular, Ronnie.
I thought so.
And I guess, Ronnie, at that point in your career, if you didn't like the song, you didn't have to sing it.
No, you don't.
You know what I'm saying? There is, some of these artists, especially new artists, they have success, but they still feel like they got to do everything, where I'm kind of looking at it from afar. and going, hey, you've earned the right to say, no, I don't like that and I'm not going to do it. And I think there's a respect that comes with that people and the business as a whole. And I think you had that respect because there came a time after your success, and that's why your records were so good, and that's why you were able to sell the song, because you loved the song. If you didn't want to do a song or didn't feel like it was you didn't have to do it. You just said no.
But if you felt that song was part of your life, I remember the day we went in to record What a Difference You Made in My Life.
Yeah.
Written by Archie Jordan.
I love Archie. He was a great man.
He was a great writer. Always had the good melodies.
He was a great melody guy.
Yeah. Thank you, David, for that question. That was a real good one. What's our next question, Marty, out of the fishbowl?
All right. Our next question here comes from Sarah from Iowa. I don't see her last name here. She writes, "Hello, Ronnie. My name is Sarah, and I'm a huge fan. I got my first single on 45 when I was 4 years old."
Oh,
wow.
I've always wondered where your beautiful costumes come from and how you chose them. I'm sure your beautiful wife helped out. I was just wondering what some of your favorites were. Thanks again for a lifetime of wonderful music. I still listen to No Getting Over You every day,
no
she
getting
says.
over me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Mine too.
She then says, "Take care, Ronnie and Marty. Love your podcast. Love always, Sarah in Iowa."
Thank you, Sarah.
Ronnie, you have had a lot of fabulous stage clothes throughout the years. Do tell.
Well, some of the earlier stuff, I know my wife got in touch with Bill Ballou out in L.A., and he made some of my earlier clothes.
Who else did he make clothes for? Did he do Elvis?
He did Elvis. He sure did.
I guess if it was good enough for Elvis.
It was definitely good enough for me.
Wonderful.
I knew Elvis real well.
Yeah, I love the story you tell about Kentucky Rain
Oh,
and how it influenced Smoky Mountain Rain,
it sure did.
the big thunder in the left hand. Did Manuel ever make anything for you?
Yeah, he sure did.
Still does.
Still does.
Porter told me one time, I said, Porter, how long have you had some of these suits? He said, I guess I've had them for going on 25, 30 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I said, how do you still keep that weight down? He was known as the thin man from West Plains. I said, how do you keep that weight down like that? And he said, you know, when you pay Manuel prices for outfits, that's the best diet plan going.
That's true.
You're right.
That's true.
That's good, Gordon.
That's
That's
funny.
great.
I've always loved your Manuel shirts, Ronnie. They're just wonderful.
They are. They're fun.
Ronnie, you have a Manuel shirt for just about every occasion.
I do. If there was a show that was near the 4th of July or something, I had shirts that had.
Good old red, white, and blue.
I sure did.
Wow.
Thank you, Sarah, for that wonderful question. I appreciate it. Hope I answered it for you.
All right, Ronnie, let's do one last question out of the fishbowl.
Yeah.
All right, all I see here is Randy and Franklin wants to know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way over my head. Maybe some inside thing here. How did you get mistaken for Rodney Millstone?
Well, early on, I thought I wanted to be an R&B singer.
There you go.
Okay.
So I was recording songs in Atlanta at Gaither Studio there in Atlanta.
You think there's any relation to Bill Gaither or the Gaither vocal band?
I'm not sure.
What do you know, Gordon? Was there any Gaither studios in...
Not that I am aware.
It must be just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Probably so.
But I got picked up by a company in New York named Scepter Records, run by Florence Greenberg. And she said, we want you to record for us. So I went to New York, and they had a song that I was just fascinated. I said, I want to do that. Written by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, a song called Never Had It So Good. And that thing knocked me out. I recorded it. They put it out, and it went all the way to top 5 on the soul chart. I thought, hey, I'm an R&B singer.
Till they found out something about you.
Yeah, they sent my,
Promotional photo.
around. They found out I was a white boy.
Video killed the radio star, and so did the photos.
Apparently.
They did. They stopped playing the record. And the head of promotion, Steve Tyrell at Scepter, said, look, Ronnie Milsap's blind. And I said, well, I know that. What of it? He thinks he's black. He doesn't know any better. He really does think he's black.
I love
they
that.
went back on the record. Took it to number 5.
Wow.
Thank you, Randy, for that question. That was fun to talk about.
Hey, Ronnie, let your fine listening audience know how to get a question to you in our fishbowl.
If you've got a question for me, send it to questionsformilsap@gmail.com.
That's it. Let's stuff that fishbowl.
Hey, I'm curious, Gordon. Do you use any technology, note takers, anything like that?
I have a Braille display. I have a Mantis. Do you know what those are? The Mantis, it's a QWERTY keyboard. It's a Braille display. So it's Bluetooth. You can go from your phone and, whatever's on Lyric or whatever's on your phone.
Yeah.
You can hook it into your computer, hardwire or Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It's a Mantis. It's a humanware product. It's a 40 cell. I believe it's called the Mantis 40, but I can't remember. But it's amazing. Like I say, it's a QWERTY keyboard, so you can go both ways. You can type Bluetooth, or you can read it on your screen. You can do both.
I do something very similar on the device called the Braille Sense.
Yeah, my brother knows about those. He's seen those. I don't have one of those, but
Boy, it talks.
yeah.
And it's got that Braille display on top.
Wow, cool.
How did you learn Braille?
I learned it in preschool, like when I was probably 3 or 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
and
Lord.
I went to the Alabama School for the Blind in Talladega
Yeah.
through the 2nd grade. When I went into 3rd grade, I was one of 7 kids, one of the first groups in the country. In 1977, I was one of about 7 or 8 kids that mainstreamed into the public school system. And, that was difficult because they didn't have all of our books in Braille. Some of them were on cassette, but so much of what I learned I had to memorize.
Golly.
Yeah.
And if you had a cassette of a book, that could be helpful, but try to find page 211 on a cassette.
Good luck.
Yeah, even if it's an NLS player, which for our listeners is like back in those days, we had these little tape machines. They called them talking books. The National Library Service for the Blind would furnish you with one of these things. And anyway, it had tones for different chapters and whatnot, but it was still really hard to find your place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so you remember those days.
Yeah.
Now I call the internet and computers, I call that the great equalizer.
Oh, it sure is.
Because now with all the technology, you and I can do just about anything, find just about anything that a sighted person can find. I'm a PC guy when it comes to a lot of the music stuff, we use a Mac. But as far as just everyday stuff, I use a PC with JAWS for Windows. JAWS stands for Job Access with Speech, for those of you out there. It's made by a company called Freedom Scientific, and it's wonderful for blind people. We are able, with JAWS, to, do just about anything you can do. Now, I use a lot of hotkeys, and I'm pretty fast. And then, of course, I have an iPhone, and I use a lot of Apple technology with VoiceOver and all that. But, Ronnie, it's the great equalizer.
But do you guys think, though, that due to the great equalizer, sadly, there's a lot of blind people out there that are deciding not to learn Braille?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And it is sad because I think more and more blind people, and I was in a discussion group about this not long ago, Marty. It's interesting you're bringing this up. I was in a discussion group with some people who, like me, think it's really important for blind people to learn Braille. I have still one of the old Perkins Braille writers.
Boy, I got mine.
Yeah. And I've had it worked on. It works great.
Yep.
And I mean, it's great that I can have this Braille display and do all the things, but I feel like it's really important for blind people to be able to read and write Braille. But there are those who think Braille is a thing of the past. It's kind of doinky, and
It's not.
I don't think it is.
And like Ronnie always asks, what are you going to do when the electricity goes out?
Exactly.
That's right.
I mean, you can only do so much, right?
Yep.
So I think it's really important for blind people to still be very diligent to learn how to write and read Braille, grade 2 Braille.
Yes.
And we need to make sure we keep that in the forefront. It would be, you know what, Ronnie? I kind of compare it to those people who don't read maps anymore. They totally depend on their GPS.
Oh, yeah.
Till the battery dies.
Or till the grid comes down.
Exactly.
Yeah, then what are you going to do? There's so much that we could get into and talk about.
And the new talking machine is so cool.
So which one do you have?
The latest one, made by Humanware.
Yes, Humanware makes the Mantis. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Victor Reader Stream is the one you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Kurzweil used to make?
That was an interesting thing. Did you have one of those, Ronnie? The Kurzweil things?
I don't think I did.
I saw one. It did all kinds of stuff. They also, VersaBraille made a little printer like that would print in Braille. They had one of those at Jacksonville State University where I went to school for 3 years before I went to Belmont. That was the first time I ever saw one of those things. But
I'm just wondering, how long has it been since you read a full book in Braille?
a long time.
Oh, yeah.
A long time.
I haven't done that in a long time either.
You guys need to knock the dust off.
Well,
Get your chops back.
My wife tells me you've got this cabinet full of Braille Bibles,
Yeah.
and you'd rather read it from your Braille display. And I would, because, the longer Braille sits there on certain types of paper, the harder it is to read.
Yeah.
Even if you keep it in a good temperature. It's am I right, Ronnie?
That's it.
And if your hands are sweaty,
Yeah.
or you're, whatever. There's so many variables. But with the Braille display, there are no variables.
No, it's wonderful.
I didn't think about that. In school, you could have had excuses for not doing your homework. The dog peed on it.
Oh, yeah, I had plenty of excuses. Yeah,
I know Gordon does the same thing. At school, I would mock the teachers.
Oh, all the time.
Oh, you bad
I know.
little boys.
Called me into the principal's office.
Yep.
Ronald.
Yeah. I just imitate producers.
Yeah.
And of course, people always have me do my Porter Wagner imitation because
I know
they think
you're
that's
great
so funny.
with that. Do it.
Do it again. Do it again.
Folks, listen, this podcast here is some of the best material on the internet.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it's a powerful thing. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic.
That's good, man. That is really good. That's Porter right
man.
there.
Stronger than a garlic milkshake.
Oh, Ronnie does a great impression of his old manager.
Oh, I've got to have it.
Jack Johnson. Ronnie, come in here. I want to talk to you.
That is him.
I said, what are we doing, Jack? I'm going to send you on the road with Charlie Pride. I said, okay, when are we leaving? You're going to be on his plane tonight.
Oh,
Wow.
I said, okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
That's great.
Gordon, we always ask our guests if they have any music. Do you have any music we could play on this podcast?
well, I just came out with a brand new project, speaking of music.
good.
It's called Where You Lead Me. That's the name of the album, and you can find it on all streaming platforms as well as gordonmote.com if you want a physical copy.
Yeah.
But we have a song that I thought you might dig. There's all styles of music on this record.
Good.
It's like a Milsap record. Mark Lowry calls me because he's like, man, you're all over the place. You're a music schizophrenic.
Yeah, me too.
And but this one song, it's kind of an upbeat. I love doing collaborations like you do.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite things because I get to play on so many people's records, and so when it's time for me to make a record, I try to get some of those people to come in and help me because it's just fun.
Amen.
And on this record, I had my buddies from the group Alabama. I had Randy and Teddy and the whole band come in and do a song with me called Walking Each Other Home. And, you know, that's what we're doing. It's all about just being friends and helping each other. And I have several collaborations on the album, but this one is with the Gaither Vocal Band.
Oh.
And I produced them. I've been producing their albums for the last, 7 or 8 years. And so we were in the middle of a vocal band record at the same time I was in the middle of my record. So I kind of held them hostage.
Yeah.
And said, I need y'all to sing on this.
Yeah.
But it's a song called Door Wide Open. So I guess we can roll it.
Let's do it.
You got it.
Why do you stay behind those bars when a soul set free is who you really are? Why do you wear those prison rags when he's told you you're not captive to your past? Don't you know you've been covered by grace? Time to throw off those chains. Why are you sitting in a prison with the door wide open? Sitting in a prison with the door wide open.
Boy, that is really good.
Aren't you ready to start living like you know you've been forgiven? Sitting in a prison with the door wide open. Why do you stay locked down by shame? 'Cause that was gone the day you called on Jesus' name. And all the guilt,
Yeah.
and all your fear, tell me why do you let them keep you here? Don't you know you've been covered by grace? You're not defined by yesterday. Why are you sitting in a prison with the door wide open? Sitting in a prison with the door wide open.
Boy, that's great.
Aren't you ready to start living like you know you've been forgiven? Sitting in a prison with the door wide open. Yeah. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. You're free, you're free, you're free. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. You're free, you're free, you're free. You're free, you're free, you're free. Why are you sitting in a prison with the door wide open?
What a record.
Thank you.
Sitting in a prison with the door wide open. Sitting in a prison with the door wide open. Why are you sitting in a prison with the door wide open? Aren't you ready to start living like you know you've been forgiven? Sitting in a prison with the door wide open.
Wow.
Damn.
Gordon.
Gordon Mote. Gordon Mote,
dog.
ladies and gentlemen. And
Thank
that
you.
is just a happening record, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's very
that.
competitive with anything you're going to hear today.
Thank you.
If that doesn't get your heart pumping, I don't know what will.
I don't know either.
Well, I appreciate that. We had a lot of fun making that, and you can't help but have something fun when you get some of the best Nashville studio cats all in one room with their creative energy.
Amen.
And then you get some singers like the Gaither Vocal Band.
Boy.
And then, I try to get as many good people around me so I, sound like something. So that's what we do. But thank you for playing that. And like I say, if you're out there and you like that, you can find that anywhere you find music, whether it's a digital stream or download. The name of the album is Where You Lead Me, and all my music is available anywhere you download or stream music. And of course, if you want a physical copy, because I love CDs, I love to hold some. I love vinyl. I've got a great vinyl set up in my office, but I love the physical product. And if you want that, you can go to my website, simply gordonmote.com.
I still like CDs.
They smell good too, right?
They do.
Yeah.
And you know what Ronnie says about vinyl?
Tell me.
Well, I guess if it gets too cold in the winter and you run out of money to pay your electric bill, you can just burn your vinyl and stay warm.
Well, there's some vinyl that I wouldn't mind burning that I've heard.
That's right.
But I'll tell you, I have a lot of vinyl that I collected over the years, and sometimes it sure is good to plug in the old turntable and fire up the speakers or the headphones, but a lot of times speakers, and somehow those old records still sound so freaking good.
Oh, they're warm.
They are so warm. I miss, you know, in all fairness, and Ronnie, you may or may not agree with this, but in all fairness, the great engineers now in Nashville or LA or wherever, we've got some of the best in Nashville.
You bet.
We were just talking about Kyle Lenning. Kyle is a great producer. He's a great engineer. He's a great mixer. He's just a great guy and so smart. A lot of wisdom.
The best.
And we've got some incredible producers in this town too. But getting back to the engineer guys, you know, when we went to digital, and I was kind of here at the end of the analog day, just starting to play on sessions, you know, big records at that time. I was kind of right at the end of the analog thing, right at the beginning of the digital thing. And when we kind of started in the digital world, a lot of the to me, it didn't sound near as warm as the analog, but they've made so much progress with plugins and all the things. And we're really, most engineers can get it really warm sounding and get exactly what they're looking for. But if you talk to these guys, like a Bill Schnee, you talk to somebody like that, they'll tell you why. They'll give you all these reasons why analog is still sounds so good. And they can make up for it in a lot of ways, but I don't know. Analog tape is just like getting under a warm blanket.
Oh,
Isn't that true?
Yeah, it is.
You know, Gordon, you were talking about Bill Schnee and Kyle Lenning and Rob Galbraith. We had the three of those gentlemen on Music and Milsap podcast episode 20.
That's right.
And we called that our Gearheads episode. They talked about all things gadgetry and Ronnie's old studio. And
Downtown when I had it down at Music Row.
I was just at your place, the old Ronnie's place. And it still smells like it did 30 years ago. It really does. It's still got that
essence of Milsap.
Yeah, it's still got that smell. I remember talking to Scott Hendricks about you.
Yeah.
Scott and I worked together a ton. We just finished some Dan and Shay Christmas stuff. We worked on a Gwen Stefani record.
I love Scott.
Scott's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Me too.
And he kind of, I mean, the first number one country song I ever played on was a song called Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning, Alan Jackson song.
Oh, yeah.
I'd played on some records before that, but that was the first number one. But Scott, he didn't produce that record, but he had heard me play on some demos.
Yeah.
And back in those days, Ronnie, people would hire me because I could sound like Pig, or I could sound like Matt, or I could sound like Steve Nathan, or I could sound like John Jarvis, or whatever. But Scott, I remember on a session we were doing, I said, Scott, what kind of thing are you looking for? And he said, I don't know, just do whatever Gordo would do.
Ooh.
And that changed the trajectory of my career. It changed because then I thought, okay, I am free to figure out who I am and find my own thing. And I think that was the turning point, Scott telling me that.
Oh, yeah. That's a big deal, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, we talked about you a lot. And sometimes he would say, I remember we were working on something and I couldn't get it like I wanted it. And, you know, we couldn't get the kick drum the way we wanted it. He was asking me about this and that. And he said, dadgummit, he said, I feel like I'm working with Milsap right now. He said, because you just won't leave it alone. And he has so much respect for you. I think, Ronnie, you changed this town for the better. I think you raised the bar so high for the quality with which now we all try to achieve making records.
Yes.
And I think that's what you did. And I attribute so much of that to you. And so many people along the way did that. But you did that. You kind of brought a shine to the Nashville sound. You kind of brought a shine.
Well, you guys got great ears.
People say, because you're blind, do you hear better? And I said, no, I don't think that's it.
No.
I think we just use it more. It's like a muscle. We use it more. We depend on it more. You could probably hear the same thing, but you don't know you can.
I know.
Do you think that's true?
I think that's it.
Oh, don't steal my joy. I thought you guys had superpowers, man.
We do.
But that's not one of them. Oh, man. But I love talking about this stuff with you because I feel like in some ways we're kind of musical brothers.
We are.
You know?
We definitely are.
Can I tell a real quick? I don't know how much more time we have, but I want to tell.
We got all you want.
I want to tell you a quick story. You won't remember this because you've made a lot of records. But the first Ronnie Milsap record I ever played on was...
Wait a minute. Played on?
Yes. Rob called me.
Yeah.
Said, I've been hearing that you're kind of a new, and I'd love to try you on a Milsap. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now, but this is cool.
Careful, Gordon. Playing on Ronnie Milsap records might even lead to a guest spot on the Music and Milsap podcast.
See, I'm telling you, I never knew it would lead to this.
And
we
here
are.
he is today.
Yes,
Here
sir.
we are.
Yes, sir.
So Rob called, they booked the session. I don't even remember where we were, to be honest, Ronnie. I played on a couple of your records. You wouldn't probably even remember that. But the first session, though, you were doing your scratch vocal and you were playing a Wurlitzer.
Oh, I did love those.
Man, I'd love for you to play mine. I just had a bunch of work done on it. It's so awesome. But I remember you were playing your whirly and singing.
Yeah.
And I was on acoustic piano, and I did a B3 pass after we got the track.
Oh, good.
But I was playing acoustic piano, and I was so nervous. And we were doing this medium tempo tune. And you were doing the second verse. And, of course, if we're in Davidson County, piano takes fills on second verse. That's just the gospel truth.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, it was kind of a funky medium tempo, it's a little soulful kind of thing. So on the second verse, I'm playing a little, you're singing, and I play this fill. And when I play it, you say, yeah, like that. And I thought, man, if my career ends today,
That's it.
I'm okay.
You heard the magic
He
words.
said, yeah. So that's my...
How you got on this show.
That's so true, man.
Is there a clock on the wall?
Yeah, it's right in front of you there.
Okay, good.
What about it?
The old clock on the
Oh,
wall.
clock on the wall has got us again. But we've had so much fun with Gordon Mote today. What an artist. What a talented man he is.
Well, thank you. I hope you'll have me back. This has been more fun than I can even tell you. What to sit here with one of my real life heroes, and I just thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, like you said, we're musical brothers. We definitely are.
And I look forward to doing this again sometime.
We will when we get the studio finished.
Well, we could have gone 5 hours, but Gordon's limo driver just showed up to pick him up.
And is she so beautiful?
I know she is.
Dude, you overmarried.
I did indeed. I outkicked my coverage, to use a football euphemism.
God is good. That's all I
All
can
the
say.
time. Well, thank you folks for having me. And Ronnie, I've listened to so many of these podcasts, so it's fun to be on one.
Hey, you're the best, man. You're the best.
So are you. Many blessings to you.
Many blessings to you, buddy. And thank you, folks, for listening to our podcast. We're available on YouTube and RonnieMilsap.com. If you've got a question for me, send it to questionsformilsap@gmail.com. Catch you on the next show. 29.